Many people that are considering to buy into Avalanche, to buy into the Avax token, have actually never used the technology. In this video, we are not just going to look at the price charts, we're going to look also at relative valuation and at the actual usage of the chain. This here is probably the reason why you're interested in Avax. The token went up 12% just today. It went up 77% in the last week and 146% in the last month. Now, I have made a lot of videos on Avax and I was not always bullish, to be completely frank. I want to show you what's actually going on right now. What we are seeing here is a chart of the total capital that's involved in the Avalanche chain, the total value locked. A historical chart. At some point we were at 14 billion with a B. Now that went down to 1 billion. So we're looking at a drop of more than 90% in US dollars. Now, of course, the Avax price also went down, but even if we measure the same chart in Avax tokens, this is not growing, unfortunately. And so that chart is the main reason why I got pretty bearish on Avalanche. I've used Avalanche a ton. I've used the Trader Joe decentralized exchange. I've used the Olympus DAO fork, Time Wonderland. I've also used all kinds of other forks of that. Most of those forks had some kind of snow-themed name to them. Now, we are currently in a bull market. There is more and more speculation in the altcoins happening, and there is a narrative around DeFi, and Avalanche is pretty central around DeFi. The question is always, is the price reflecting the current situation, what's actually happening on chain? And if it's not, if it's simply just hype, how much potential is there still if we just want to ride this short-term momentum? This here is the Avalanche price in US dollars. It's the chart that most people look at. You can also plot this on a logarithmic chart. Still, it's in US dollars. What I like to look at though are relative valuation charts, because when Bitcoin goes up, then all the altcoins go up as well, and vice versa. When Bitcoin crashes, the altcoins go down as well. So when we take on more risk by buying an altcoin, what we actually want is outperformance over the safest of the cryptocurrencies, right? We are looking at generating more returns because we took on more risk. That's why we look at altcoins relative to Bitcoin and maybe also relative to Ethereum. According to this chart, the potential best case scenario outperformance is another 145% versus Bitcoin, roughly. The potential underperformance is maybe 70%, and the very, very worst case, maybe 89%. Let's have a look at the same versus Ethereum. Here, the potential outperformance is a bit less, 77%. The risk is a drop of 70%, and in the very worst case, if history is any indication, minus 81%. Here's the problem with crypto YouTube. People promoting becoming degen or buying 100x coins. That's what gives clicks, but that's not what's going to bring you forward. I refuse to take money from centralized exchanges. I refuse to take money from crypto projects. I refuse to pump and dump a coin and filling up my pockets in the background. I don't do any of this. Instead, I share my knowledge in the form of tutorials in the premium membership. So that's content that won't do well on YouTube, but that builds up skill over time. You can also directly contact me over there. You can directly pick my brain. Feel free to check it out. TheBitcoinStrategy.com is the link. Now, maybe you have heard of Bitcoin dominance before. Bitcoin dominance is a measure of how much of all of crypto is locked up in Bitcoin's market cap. Now, you can measure the same kind of dominance for other cryptocurrencies, and you can basically measure their relevance within crypto. So again, we are looking at a relative measure. We completely ignore the expansions and the contractions of crypto as a system as a whole. And again, I believe that those upper ceilings and those lower supports are more relevant than just the US dollar price, simply because the US dollar price is so much impacted by what else is going on. Of course, Avalanche is going up when Bitcoin is going up as well, but this chart only goes up if Avalanche outperforms. This is Avax dominance. Currently, pretty much 1% of all of cryptocurrency's market cap is in Avax. And historically, at the end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022, this peaked at 1.3% roughly. The low point is 0.12%. So here the potential outperformance doesn't look too great. It's 27%, but the potential risk is much higher. -55, -69 and -87%. There's a very similar chart which looks slightly worse though. That's the one behind me. What we are looking at here is Avalanche's market cap relative to the other altcoins. So we are not looking at Avalanche as a fraction of all of crypto, we are looking at Avalanche relative to all the other altcoins. So the way to calculate this is Avax's market cap divided by the total 3 market cap, with total 3 being all of crypto except Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now here there is 0 upside if history is any indication, or in other words, if you are betting on Avalanche now, if you think it can continue to outperform, then you do make a bet that Avax will have a larger fraction of all of the altcoin market, a larger one than what we've ever seen in the past. And you're making that bet while the total value locked of Avax looks like this. Now here's the hard part about crypto speculation. Prices can very much diverge from the fundamentals for a quite prolonged period of time. And yes, I do believe that there is currently a divergence between fundamentals and between the price. But that also in turn means that it's very hard to make a short-term price prediction. Where will Avax be in a month or in 2 months from here? If you're currently buying Avax, you're currently buying the momentum. I don't see how anybody at the current prices can buy the fundamentals. There's also quite a bit of token inflation, in case you're not aware. Currently, there are 410 million tokens floating, and in 1 year, that will be 478 million. So a bit under 20% of additional supply in the next year. So yes, it's more inflating than Bitcoin or Ethereum. We need more buy pressure for the Avax token just to keep the price stable. I did at some point even bet on falling prices of Avax. That was around July and August of this year. But then the altcoin rally started. With it, Avax pumped as well, and I exited that position. Now it's obviously good that I did, because in the meantime, the price went up by another 130%. Whatever you're currently betting on Avax, since the relative valuation is so high, don't overexpose yourself. At least have a very close eye on what's going on chain if the chain is used more. The DeFi narrative helps Avalanche, also the gaming narrative might help Avalanche. But that's the thing with attention. Attention is fleeting. It moves from coin to coin. Currently a lot of attention is on Avax, but who knows where it will be just in a few months from now. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe because I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. There's also a free Telegram. Link is down below.